Hi and welcome back. My name is Ula. It's great to see you. I am really excited to share with you today a video from my client Natalia, where she speaks about her experience of working with me. When we first connected, Natalia was experiencing burnout from her work. She was really struggling with staying on top of things, struggling with being able to manage her social life, her personal life, and her work commitments. In the process, she was feeling quite lost and disconnected from herself. Over the course of 6 months, Natalia and I worked together, and in a moment, she's going to share with you exactly what happened, how things unfolded for her. But I wanted to give you a bit of an introduction basically on how she overcame some of those feelings of overwhelm and stress, how she ended up setting boundaries with her friends and her coworkers and really broke through the limiting beliefs that were really holding her back from stepping up for herself, from giving herself a place where she could rest and reclaiming her energy and her passion for her life. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Stick around and hear what Natalia has to say.
Hello. Through this way, I would like to express my experience and journey that I did with Ula Makowska during the hypnotherapy sessions that we did. And first of all, I would like to express what made me to decide a booking with Ula. So me myself, I've always had a healthy criticism of Western medicine, and I've done a master's and a bachelor's in a medical direction, so a medical study related to scientific research. And since I gathered a lot of knowledge on this end of our approach to health, I felt an urge to understand and also experience more about what is called nowadays still a very alternative methods toward health. But I would rather describe it myself as complementary, and I think a balance of both is definitely necessary for us to sustain a healthy life. And when Ula reached out in a society group of women some time ago, that she was starting a hypnotherapy pilot related to burnout symptoms, my interest was very triggered. So during that time, the moment I decided to book with Ula, I was dealing with a lot of psychosomatic symptoms that were clearly connected to, well, to the state of my being, and I wanted to understand better what was behind this. And additionally, I also realized the stressful lifestyle I was trying to sustain definitely had a connection with this. Ula has a very good approach, in my understanding, towards figuring out how to solve a problem, and she asked me a lot about underlying patterns, asked further questions to untangle these patterns, and during the sessions I would sometimes get stuck, and she would find a way to reframe the narrative so that we could continue with the session and get useful insights out of these. And what I also really appreciated is that Ula regularly checked in with me outside of the sessions, very consistently, always ready to help. And this, regardless of me having a hard time responding back to her at times due to, well, the problems I was having and because I was feeling overwhelmed. Um, and well, I was also very interested and shocked in a very positive way to reflect back on how these sessions were for me, because I was honestly very surprised with the results of the sessions after Ula worked with me for half a year. And at the beginning, I was finding my way quite a lot into how to plan my daily tasks related to the hypnotherapy, which I feel like I picked up very well. And at first, I started noticing these somatic changes that I also shared with Ula, and some of these changes were different than the somatic symptoms that I had before, which was a bit confusing. But little by little, I noticed the connection between these changes and my own problem. And additionally, I noticed at the beginning, um, uh, only in retrospect, after all the sessions, that I started to stand up for my needs in little things. So during interactions with people, such as small conflicts, but also to decide to rest or stop doing things that do not do me well and start creating space for things that matter to me. So the funny thing is, I feel like this came to me in a very natural way, and that didn't like actively do something about it, and that was very new to me. And well, when I think about my life now, I feel like I'm always learning and trying to find more pieces of the puzzle in my life. And as for the future, I think I'm mostly looking forward to find a bigger sense of peace for myself, mostly in my body, along with feeling like I'm standing behind my own needs and aims. And I think one thing I would say to people that are postponing or putting off their own problems and frustrations in life would definitely be that we all deal with frustrations and problems, and it feels like we're the only ones dealing with them, but that's not true. And even though these problems differ for us all individually, I do think that they will catch up with us eventually. And putting off fixing these frustrations will only procrastinate the problem. And I do think that at a certain moment, we all need to face our problems in order to overcome them. Um, I think the most useful thing that, these sessions with Ula have brought me is that healing lies in different corners, and that our approach to our frustrations and problems is rather a combination of the insights that we gather in different phases of our lives. And I think taking action and actually trying when it's presented to you, and always do your best in this process. I want to thank Ula one more time for this very precious time for me, and all the things that our sessions have brought me.